And I'll start recording doing some world tier farming. And once you hit World Tier 12, you start getting legendary weapons each world tier. That would just be so amazing if I got up to World Tier 12 tonight and it gave me a Thunderbird right off the bat. I think I would have trouble sleeping. I'd be too excited. I really need to get rid of that one mod that I have. And I got a mod on one of my gear pieces that reduces my melee cooldown by 50%. So for doing this world tier farm, it's just so perfect. Since I one-hit everything anyways. This makes it so much easier to just run around melee everything. Not worry about like ammo or aiming. Like aiming, who needs that shit?
Outrider, we're almost back to your camp.
Copy. How's Jane doing?
She's barely hanging on. I'm doing what I can, but she'll make shots.
Oh yeah, I can do 128,000 of that guy now. Actually, still gain a pretty decent amount of world tier every run of this too. Usually, a World Tier 11, usually 3 or 4 purples per run, sometimes more. Very rarely less. When I grab all the chests, of course. Yeah, apparently, I heard last Friday, I think, some people in shipping had already got theirs, but some got the full 1200 and some only got 300. I don't know how the fuck that would work, but... Who did? Huh? Yeah. Weird. Yeah, some people only got 300 apparently. I'm thinking it because that's about how much I used to get back from my income tax every year when I was still paying union dues and not putting any extra into my tax deductions. So I'm wondering if maybe that's people thinking that it's from that and it's actually just their tax return getting direct deposited, but I could be wrong, so I'm assuming that they're not idiots, but you never know. Common sense ain't so common these days. Yeah, well, and like, if it's like exactly 300, then I would assume they'd know it's probably not their income tax return, because it should be off by at least a few cents, if not more. Whereas, you know, if it's from that, $300 on the dot would make sense. But it still wouldn't make sense as to why it's only that.
Outrider, we're almost back to your camp.
Copy. How's Jane doing?
She's barely hanging on. I'm doing what I can, but she has to.
Yeah. It was probably just somebody trying to start shit and telling people they got it even though they didn't. Yeah. I think now that I actually think of that possibility, that seems way more likely. People love causing shit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's probably a good idea. Save it for a time where you might actually need it. Yeah, that or yeah, you never know. You might wind up having to replace freaking 4 tires. And of course, Patricia's all mad at me about it. It's like, well, I didn't actually say yes and tell them to do it. I asked you, like, we have to do it, right? And she took me saying that, like, well, we kind of have to, right? As me saying, yeah, let's do it. It's like, yeah, I basically said, let's do it, but because we have to. Like, it's either, yeah, like, I mean, the the only other option would be to put the spare on, but the spare is still like basically brand new, and all the other 3 tires are pretty much at the end of their life. Like I think they only had like 5 mils of tread left on them, which is like getting pretty close to the end. So like might as well just do it now. Since October of 2019. But I mean, we've put like almost 33,000 kilometers on it, so yeah, yeah, like we have drove it a lot, and I am just not. I think I'm not doing as good on this because I'm trying to avoid using my one skill. Because I put a thing on it that increases the duration of the paralysis that the temporal blade does. But what it really does is increase the time between each one, because they don't blow up at the same time afterwards. They blow up one at a time, and so increasing the paralysis duration increases the duration between them dying. So when I use it on a group of like 20 of them, it takes like 30 seconds for it to actually kill all of them, even though it's technically a one-hit kill. I just gotta do a little bit better trying to roll and use my melee here. I died a couple times now. On the bright side, I got 4 purples just in that one little spot. 2 of them LMGs even. Wow.
Outrider, we're almost back to your camp.
Copy. How's Jane doing?
She's barely hanging on. I'm doing what I can, but she'll make it. She has to.
Standard rifles are actually pretty strong too. Like the one-shot variants do high single-shot damage, but they're basically almost like a bolt-action sniper. It's only got a 1-round magazine and like a 1 to 1.5 second reload. But the standard variants with like the 8-round clips, they actually do pretty decent damage. I've seen a few builds that use them. They're dealing like 2-3 million damage a hit. I mean, probably not anymore after those nerfs, but... Personally, I think they're going to wind up rolling back some of the nerfs. It's like they cut a couple of the trickster skills from a 50% bonus down to 35% bonuses. I think they'll probably bring them back up to like 40 or 45%. They'll probably just bring them down a little bit. Looks like one guy was doing some math of like the way the scaling works and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, you only technically lose 30% of damage bonus there, but the way the game calculates it, it actually works out to more like a 50% bonus loss. It's actually a bit of a bigger deal than the patch notes kind of make it out to be. On the bright side, they didn't nerf anything for Devastator at all. They didn't buff anything either, but it's basically they pretty much decided that the bullet skills are the problem. So I think that was why they didn't nerf the Devastator at all, because they don't have one. I got thinking about it though, and honestly, it would kind of make more sense if they took Toxic away from the Technomancer and gave that to the Earth guy, the Devastator, because like it's weird that Technomancer has Toxic and Freeze, But like Pyro has burn and ash, but
We're almost back to your camp.
and then
Copy. How's Jane doing?
Trickster just has slow,
I'm doing what
no
I can.
freeze.
She'll make it. She has to.
Ow. Die, motherfuckers. Oh, are you kidding me? Those guys actually got me. Shouldn't have been trying to kill the guy from a distance. Alright, no more playing around. Can't be dying anymore. I thought I could have been World Tier 12 already. Well. Oh dear, you could have called me. I could have came and got those. Huh? Because I was just farming a little bit. I'll be done in just a sec. Yeah, I think so. I got halfway through World Tier 11 anyways. Oh, it's just Lee. Lee says hi, dear. Did you hear that shit, Lee? Yeah! That's how it is, eh? He's a stranger now? It always changed? Depending on your mood, eh? Maybe tomorrow he's a friend. Definitely depends on the mood. Yeah, I literally have just a couple seconds left here. There we go. Just grab this Most of that could be done in the morning, though, no?
No, I still got a pack.
Alright, well, I'll probably...
Instead of helping me, there you are playing.
No, I'll be there in just a minute. Like I said, I have literally
You
seconds
can waste
left.
your time with that stranger instead of helping me.
Alright, well, I'll probably talk to you at some point next week, Lee.
That's why he's the stranger.
What do you mean that's why he's a stranger?
Look, he's playing.
Goodbye, strange lady. Alright, have a good one, Lee. Peace.